Taurus, how are you? The sun has just started to flood in my window for your reading, so I really hope that your July 2025 is looking more sunny, more optimistic, or at least somewhat illuminating. Let's see what's coming through for you. I'll pull 3 cards to start, and I will continue just to pull cards throughout this reading to go deeper and clarify the messages that come up. The sound of construction is gone for now. Fingers crossed, a bird is tweeting. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that, but I think this is good. I have the 3 of Cups, which can speak to some celebration. I also have the Justice card, and I've got the 10 of Swords. Okay. Some really crucial choices are being made for you this month, by you, I hope, not for you necessarily. However, this is all about your wisdom and your discernment being so crucial, because Taurus, you may really be feeling this, like despite what I said at the beginning, you're gonna know what resonates and what doesn't for you. But does the word crucial mean anything to you right now? Does the word critical or phrase critical turning point, is everything seemingly at a higher stakes quality? And it seems like something is hanging in the balance at this time and hinging upon quite consequential choices. And when this kind of a quality is emerging in our life for a particular time, we can often want to sort of just seek solace or escape into a kind of social bubble, or kind of the world of entertainment. And maybe you have a really busy social calendar in the month of July. Maybe there are events and already you've had these commitments and people that you're supposed to be meeting and celebrating with. And I think that partially you're excited for this, but another big element of it is that you kind of get the impression that you're running from something, or you don't really think that it's productive when certain parts of your journey right now call for a lot of strength and discipline and focus. I stand by what I say, that hopefully July brings some more optimism and sunniness in a kind of metaphoric sense. And that might imply that June has even been somewhat of a uncertain month for you. The 8 of Swords is at the bottom of the deck with the 4 of Swords. The 8 of Swords and the 4 of Swords together speaks to a desperate need for some of you to quiet your mind, to seek sanctuary and peace because of this kind of trapping or restriction, or feeling kind of out of control on some level, or some way bound and tied to the set of circumstances that have presented themselves lately, May, June, in the run-up to this reading. But be that as it may, there still are in occasions, engagements, and certain you can always say no and back out, but I don't think you're going to. I think that at least until the 10th, 11th of July, you're attending something quite meaningful. And you know what? It might actually end up really being important, uplifting. And you know what? The 3 of Cups can be a lot to do with your inner circle, your sort of circle of security, for want of a better phrase, and the kind of knowing that comes through, and the helpfulness of people in your life, and the knowing who's there for you, the knowing who holds you. And you know, Justice card speaks a lot to do with marriages, relationships, business partnerships, really dynamics that are almost a given for us. We assume that they're going to last forever. We hope that they will in most cases. And I think that it's a time in your life where you're really seeing who's there for you and who's not. And these kind of relationships you're really thinking a lot about. And I won't know more about that until I start clearing up. So let's have a look at the Three of Cups. I have the Eight of Coins and the Ten of Wands. Let's just for a moment say something about this Ten of Wands and Ten of Swords, and both people here bent over with an amount of pressure or weight on their back. So what does that kind of bring up for us symbolically? Burden, obligation, a need to break free, a wish to break free, a desire to not have so much on our plate. And then the Ten of Swords can be the kind of mental load that we're carrying, concerns. Again, this kind of crucial quality of everything. It's very important. So it's not something that you can just kind of ditch. Some of you are attending an important work event in the first week or two of July. Some of you are attending some sort of an expo, or a kind of, what is the other thing, like a convention of some sort. And it's going to really like inspire you, because you might even be hearing from people that are kind of more experimental, or maybe you're working with people that are more experimental. There's a sort of quality of this being an important kind of time for you to hear about or see other ways of looking at the current workload or current issue or task that you're kind of coming up against. So the reason that you're being social or kind of putting yourself out there and networking or meeting or even engaging on a kind of like more just like kind of recreational level with other people is because there is some sort of a perspective that's going to be really, really valuable for you, because it will help you shift some of the taxing kind of, for some it is a burden. Others of you are being in some way kind of taken advantage of or exploited. It could be at your job, it could be in your family, it could be in a relationship, and somebody gives you some useful insight around this predicament that seems to want to help to free you up a little bit, Taurus. And I think freeing you up is going to be something that's important. You know, Uranus, which is the great liberator in astrology, is sitting at the final degree of Taurus right now. Uranus, as I record, is at 29 degrees of your sign. And this July, in the first half of July, I think it might be around the 7th or 9th, Uranus will move into the sign of Gemini for the first time in our lifetime. And sometimes what can happen as Uranus is at the final degree of a sign, it amplifies the energy, right? So depending on how potentially stuck in a rut you've been feeling or how predictable your life has become, Uranus will shake up or attempt to deconstrain you, unconstrain you, remove the constraints that have been weighing you down. This is the Five of Coins, and this is about some sort of potential financial debt that you feel is insurmountable. This could be for some sort of a depletion of your physical vitality, because it's heavy, because it feels like there's a weight here. And of course the Five of Pentacles can just feel, you know, not their full self, or there can be worry. There can be worry in the Five of Pentacles, okay? Just take what resonates from this reading and leave the rest, but I have to trust that these messages are reaching somebody who needs to hear them. So the good news is that these are worries and concerns that are hoping to be liberated from your spirit, from your vessel. And July is somewhat of a time where you're getting support and information and transparency, and a kind of, Uranus is also associated with a spark of genius. Also scientific or technological breakthroughs that are helpful and kind of wondrous to you, or just kind of make you feel more hopeful and less weighed down. But there is something to be said, I think, for that helping you, but also the Justice card being about your decisions and so much importance around what you choose to do now in July, how you choose to spend your time, where you put your focus. I'm going to pull cards here, but Page of Wands in reverse, Temperance card in reverse. One little message: if you're dealing with the Sagittarius, don't assume that they have it all figured out. Don't assume that they're balanced and that their life is just, on the surface, this really looks like, that they're uplifted or they're kind of like making things light. But I wouldn't assume that there's not something more under the surface there, okay? And just the reversals of that energy coming through. Other than that, I would say that the imbalance of the Temperance card in reverse, well, these cards are really active, and the Page of Wands in reverse can just be like, not like, can't even believe, can't take it seriously. There is a kind of, I don't know, you're finding it hard to even communicate right now, and maybe that's why I can't get my words out properly. The Five of Swords coming through there as well. This period of contraction that you're in at the moment, Taurus, I get it. The fives are kind of coming through before there will be an expansion again. However, I might have said this in your reading before, but like the dahlia flower, contracting every time it's about to grow and expand more, and that's the kind of pattern. It seems like you're in more of a contraction right now. And Justice card, something is quite majorly kind of hanging in the balance this month still. And I think this is where you can do something meaningful. Let's see what we've got. The Ace of Coins and the Queen of Coins. Yes, I'd really like to see that. Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck too. So there's starting to be more possibility. There's starting to be, in July, more potential, more choice, more opportunity. And you can seize the day, so to speak. You can actually incorporate yourself in the energy of what's thriving for you now. You can lean in more and more to the opportunities that are coming up for you. You can say yes to what feels it's in alignment. You can choose to look at something. The Ace of Swords can be very validating and affirmative, but it also can be your mindset, a sense of, the world or the universe is affirming to you that there is going to be some sort of a triumph here, triumph over something that's been adversarial, difficult, burdensome, heavy. So we're getting certain cues that are clues as well, that things are starting to at least possible. At least now there is actually something that you can work with in July. Okay, so the Ace of Coins and the Queen of Coins. The green color here is talking to me about money, financial resources, and green is quite a healthy color to me. So like that Five of Coins that popped out of the deck earlier, to me that looked like a liberation coming in sometimes desperation comes up with the Five of Coins. It's that quality where we've all been in our life, desperately worried about something. And does it last forever? No, it doesn't. July might be a time where you're starting to feel the waning effect of your worry, because a job opportunity comes up, or a friend lends a hand, or an ally comes forward, or somebody takes one of those damn wands off your back and handles something for you, shares your load, right? Shares the emotional labor. But the Ace of Coins is something that could be quite lucrative. Somebody could even give you a loan. Somebody could kind of just settle something for you financially, and it clears a lot of kind of concern for you. Health-wise, the Queen of Coins is quite a thriving energy. You can help yourself on this journey by making choices that are discerning and wise and healthy for yourself. And the Queen of Coins and the Ace of Coins, very nature-esque, so maybe being mindful about what you're consuming and where you're situated. Are you getting enough sunlight? Are you spending enough time barefoot on the grass, so to speak? Are you with your pets, with your loved ones, with nature in your garden, outdoors? Are you doing the things that you know truly make your nervous system and body and mind feel good? Because it's going to be really, really beneficial to take the opportunities to do that when you can. Okay, Taurus, if this reading has been resonating with you so far, I just want to let you know that I always will do an extended or extra piece of content for each sign, and I'll link my community channel underneath. I'll do that every month, right? Every month each sign will get a piece of exclusive content for them. And I also do other readings there, like, you know, lunation check-ins, mini readings on the new or full moon. I'll do like daily tarot pulls as well there, looking at daily energies and things like that. So I think it's well worth it. But other little thing I want to say before clearing up this 10 of Swords is, if you would consider subscribing, if you would engage with this video, like or dislike, in this case it's fine with me, comment, like, share, dislike, share, but also being subscribed would really help. Anyway, let's get back. 10 of Swords here for you, Taurus. And we're at this time in June and July for sure. I think it's began for you in Gemini season. So June, July, the turning point, the breakthrough, the breakdown, the critical turning point, the Two of Cups and the Knight of Coins. The path forward begins to emerge for you as the month wraps up, okay? At the very end of the month, like this planet here, Venus, moves into Cancer. I believe that happens on the 30th of July. So I'm putting this right to the end of the month. At the 30th of July, there is a kind of a balming effect, a soothing effect, a kind of, oh my gosh, is it a relief? Is it a plan? Is it the steps forward? Is it progression? It's a promise, it's a vow, it's an understanding is made, and it feels really welcome for you. So that from July 30th for about 4 weeks, something starts to take shape for you. And I'm kind of jumping ahead now. We'll catch up in August for the August reading, at least, that might come out around that kind of end of July point. But there is some sort of an understanding that's been made at this point, Taurus, that really feels supported, harmonious. The swans here to me are offering some sort of a symbol of protection here for you, and for somebody else in your life. The Two of Cups is you and another person, and this is really welcome for you because you really have felt like, if I could alleviate something for another, and Taurus, you're like, can I take on any more? I mean, you've already been taking on so much, but you still are conscious of this. Maybe alleviating somebody else's burden would actually help to unburden you. At least that's your logic or the way you have rationalized this. I'm not going to argue with you, Taurus. So I just think that the Two of Cups is some sort of a mutual understanding, or some sort of a loving, hopeful, protected blessing that comes through from the 30th of the month onwards. But I think you're going to see this towards the end of the month, yeah. And the Knight of Coins is just the path forward now, okay? So how are we going to progress? How long is this going to take? You know, this is the tangible, this is the Virgo energy coming through. So this is the planning, and this is the structuring, and these are the details now are emerging. Okay, so we're now moving forward. Great. What's the time frame? What am I working with? What's the quality of all of this? How much? Like, you know, all of this kind of fine details will start to come into focus for you towards the end of the month. But I think the main thing is, or at least what I'm picking up on, is like this Two of Cups. It's so beautiful, and there is something very even divine and benevolent about this particular Two of Cups that, to me at least as a reader, is really beautiful to see for you. Okay, so I hope you do enjoy that Venus through Cancer transit from the 30th of July, lasting about 4 weeks. Going to be sextile the planets you have in Taurus, so should be good. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.